Hi guys, and finally here we are. The legendary Tiger 1. The Panzerkampfwagen 6 Tiger Azov H1. H1 standing for Hetzel and Son, the manufacturer and designer of this tank. Now, where do we begin? I want to start on the technical points here for you guys, so you guys can get a simple apples to oranges comparison here. And yes, this is a custom camo skin. I'll get more into that in a few. But what I'm going to talk to you about right now is the actual tank itself. The Panzerkampfwagen 6 Tiger Azov H1 was a very, very, very good tank, but it did have its problems. And thank God Gaijin haven't modeled those problems. But Gaijin have not correctly, or I should say accurately, modeled this tank. I have gone through several sources, gone through several of my books that I've got, several websites. I've even gone to several fan websites dedicated and based around the Tiger tank, and they've all got the same general consensus, which is the Tiger actually had a 690 horsepower engine, yet Gaijin Entertainment, as you can see here, have only given it 650. So they've robbed the Tiger of 40 horsepower. Now, could that be because my Tiger does not have all the modifications? I don't know, because the newer engine doesn't really say anything. It doesn't say if it gives extra horsepower or not. And yes, I've only got the Core 3 survivals required, tracks, protection, and fire extinguishers. I'm currently trying to unlock the turret drive and then the fire adjustment, of course. And then from there, I'll work on the suspension, brake system, then go to the elevation mechanism, leaving the ammunition to last because you're never going to get to use it. But with the fact that they've got the horsepower wrong, they've even got the tonnage wrong. General consensus for the Tiger tank was anywhere between 55 to 59 tons. Well, the first generation, the H1 Tiger, was only, believe it or not, 54 tons. And yet, for some reason, Gaijin have it up at 57.3. So they've got her overweight and underpowered. Also, the speed for what they've got in the Tiger is somewhat inaccurate as well. They've gotten it down at 28 miles per hour. Several other websites, including Wikipedia, of late have noted that the Tiger could actually get up to 30 miles per hour in adequate conditions. Bear in mind, that's a big asterisk there, in adequate conditions. Now, they've got the height right, the width right, the turret length right, but they've gotten the spacing wrong on the axle to ground ratio. Simply because the Tiger was designed to actually ignore bridges. The Tiger was actually originally designed to go up to 6 meters in water and still function. It was designed to just cross, just zoom right through the water. Plain and simple, because most bridges couldn't take a tank this wide. A Sherman would probably only come up to about here. It would take roughly about a Sherman and a half in width compared to a Tiger. What else did they get wrong? They got the ammunition load correct. That is true. They'd carry 92 rounds of ammunition. But also the fact that the Tiger did actually have HE shells as well. But of course, guess what? There's no HE shells in this for the poor old Tiger. Again, that's all hearsay and rumor. Another thing I'm going to talk to you about the Tiger is its production number. Most people seem to think that the Tiger was a very limited run, and its initially production was in 1942, and it finished production ended in 1944. It cost 250,800 German Reichsmarks. Now, that's 6 times the amount of money it would have cost to make a Panzer III. This is what stopped the Tiger from dominating the battlefield was its numbers. But again, what most people don't seem to understand about the Tiger is, and it's one of the issues that's on Wikipedia, it's one of the issues that are on various other sources, which is that the numbers fluctuate on the amount of Tigers ever produced. Herschel don't have the records. The records were destroyed apparently. But tank commanders and and logistics specialists said that there was 1,347 Tigers produced, i.e. that's how many Tiger serial numbers were issued by the Herschel factory. However, it has come to light that the Japanese also received several Tigers. Now just think about that for a second, and there's photographs that have come to light as well of Japanese commanders in Tigers in Tokyo. In 1943, several Japanese ground commanders went to Berlin and they asked the Third Reich, can we please purchase some Tigers? And the Third Reich said, yeah, sure. They even took order. The Japanese army paid for them. They received 5 out of the 50, I think it was 20 or something, 20 or so tanks that they ordered. I can't remember the article just yet. But you can find it, just Google Japanese Tigers, you'll find them. Japanese commanders in Tiger, you'll find them. You'll even find the article I'm talking about right now. And they took they left with 5 Tigers, of which no one's seen since. And of course everyone knows the only active, maintained, restored and drivable Tiger in anyone's private or personal collection is of course Tiger 131, which sits at the Boddington Tank Museum. However, it has also come to light that Jacques Littlefield, rest in peace, was also working on restoring a Tiger tank until his untimely death. But that Tiger tank never made it to the auction of his private estate. Arnold Schwarzenegger purchased Jacques Littlefield's Mark 46 Patton, and a few other well-known people of acting and whatnot in collectors, but no one knows what happened to his Panther or his Tiger, because they're not in his collection anymore and they weren't sold at auction. So somewhere floating in someone's hands is an actual damn near fully functional Tiger, apart from of course Tiger 131 in the Boddington Museum. Now back to the Tiger here in War Thunder. It is a sight to behold, as you'll see in some of the replay footage that will be following this somewhat meet and greet here. It's really hard to describe the Tiger in ways that you could just say, oh, Sherman, fast, agile, no armor. Everyone says that the Tiger had armor, and that the Tiger was for its size, was actually quite mobile and agile, and truthfully it is. But the point is, has Gaijin modeled that successfully? And I hate to say this, I really hate to say this, but they have. They've modeled its sluggishness at start, because the hydraulic transmission system that they used in the Herschel Tiger, it's a heavy clutch, would only initiate at a certain RPM. According to Gaijin, it's at 3,000 RPM. It's not. It's actually 6,000 RPM. But the gun, this gun is so trollish. Again, I don't have all the options unlocked. Okay, so you got to bear in mind that I'm doing this review as my Tiger sits right now with its current modifications, which sits at the following: tracks, parts, and fire extinguisher. I am literally just halfway into my turret drive. I don't have any of the adjustment of fire or the elevation mechanism, so I've noticed that the shells that I fire dramatically drop off past 400 meters. Really, really bad. And so the effective range of a Tiger was way beyond 400 meters. Way beyond 400 meters. The effective range of a Sherman Firefly was 1200 plus meters. Same as a Tiger. I believe the Tiger was 1100, 1150 in change. Let's just double check that, shall we? God bless Wikipedia, as they say. Design, armor, gun. Here we go. The gun's breech and firing mechanism were delivered from the famous German 88 dual-purpose flat gun. The 88mm KWK 36 L56 gun was a variant chosen for the Tiger and was as long as the Tiger II's 88 KWK 43 L71, one of the most effective, devastating, and fearless tank guns of World War II. The Tiger's gun had a high muzzle velocity and extremely accurate Litz Thermospheriker TZF-9B sight, later replaced by the monocular TZF-9C. In British wartime firing trials, 5 successful hits were scored on a 410 by 460 millimeter, that's 16 inches by 18 inches target at a range of 1,100 meters or 3,600 feet. Tigers were reported to have knocked out enemy tanks at ranges greater than 4 kilometers, that is 2.5 miles, although most World War II engagements were fought at much shorter ranges. So that right there should tell you that Gaijin have not accurately modeled the gun. And in theory, the gun's the only thing that this thing's got going for it, because if you come across a T-34-85, he can penetrate your front no matter what. Even though the T-34-85 in real life wouldn't have stood a bloody chance against the Tiger, because they didn't. For every one Tiger knocked out, it would have been at least 13 to 15 T-34-85s. And worse on Shermans. Of course, the Allies would exaggerate and say it was only 10 Shermans to 1 Tiger. It wasn't. It was on average of 15 to 20 Shermans to 1 Tiger. That should tell you something. Which is why a lot of British and American tankers that are still alive today, if you mention the word Tiger, you can literally see them shake. Just the mere mention of the tank's name. And it's true. When I used to come across these in World of Tanks, in my Sherman, or in my Jumbo, or which is a Sherman, or my M6, I used to be, because 9 times out of 10 they would be angled properly. They would angle 45 degrees appropriately, and just there's nothing you could do except for go 45 and plug away at them. Now, have they modelled the weak side armor correctly? Because most German armor had really strong frontal and rear armor, but very weak side armor. Yes, they have. I've got to admit that they have modelled the side armor very, very well, both on the turret and on the chassis, or chassis as Americans call it, of the Tiger. Of course, they've got the wheels mixed up. This is the drive wheel. That is the idler wheel. Of course, they've got this as the drive wheel, and that's the idler wheel, of course. Gaijin, when will they learn? But so yeah, they've got that mixed up, but they'll probably fix that. Again, this tank's model, it feels sluggish, it feels slow when turning. Let's go into a test drive, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It feels like it just needs help. And let's see, the engine and drivetrain. So suspension, you can tell it's torsion bar. You can easily tell it's torsion bar from the way it handles. Wow, long load time for a training room. Here we go. Now, as you can see, load high explosive. Yet you don't ever get that option. So what high explosive does. That was to a T-26, something it wouldn't have seen. So let's take a look at the. See, you can see it, you can feel it, the way it's turning. It's not turning on a dime, and I'm just pressing the A key to turn my outside wheel. Yes, I do realise I only have HE loaded. I'm proving a point here. If I was to truly want to hurt this tank, I'd immediately switch out to... This is armor piercing. Again, yes, this is slide armor of a T34. 1941 T34. Gone. Everybody knows side armor just below the turret. Instant ammo rack. Now, of course, there's a T34 in motion. That is 0.62 meters away, so elevate up. Corner point of angle. See? Shell just immediately just wants to fall right out the sky. It's like it's got absolutely no velocity whatsoever. See? It's falling way short of the target. Way too short. Has Gaijin successfully modeled the gun? No. Not at all. Now, this is arcade here, guys. Bear in mind, this is arcade. So there's obviously great generosity is given. Radiator's gone, suspension's gone, and yet the tank's still moving. Again, that's something Gaijin still have to work on, is properly simulating the damage done. That shell went flying to the moon. No, it wasn't even the same postal code as what target I was aiming at. Nope. Like I said, the gun is nowhere near modeled correctly or accurately. And frankly, if they did model it correctly, I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of Russian players pissing in their Cheerios and crying in their vodka about how their indestructible T-44, like you're about to see here, was one-shotted before they could even see their enemy. Well, that's what the Tiger did. That's what the Tiger was famous and infamous for. Okay, there's a KV-2 that's literally 500 meters away. Okay. Wow. Completely yellow, red on the ammo rack, and it didn't ignite. There we go. And that's how you kill a KV-2. You aim for the ammo rack. And so, this is the Tiger. I mean, here, you can see we're doing almost 20 miles per hour now. And does it turn? See, I'm not sure if it's my driver. I'm not sure if it's the fact I don't have the full upgrades, you know, and we will revisit the Tiger once I've got everything unlocked, and we'll do another look-see. And yes, I know this is arcade mode, and yes, I know that these are AI tanks that are not shooting back. These are just for target ranging and various other things. I do understand this, but it still alleviates the points I'm trying to get through here, which is how comes that if the Tiger's gun is what made it so legendary. Look how off it is. Ready? Oh, just as it turns. 2 full pips off of center. Are you kidding me? At that range? Wow. That shell literally went through the tank that time and did no damage. Huh. Oh. When did Gaijin say they had fixed that bug? Huh? See, again. Right through the tank. Video evidence. They haven't fixed shit when it concerns the Germans. But again, this isn't about the blatant biasm that Gaijin have towards Soviet tanks. This is about the legendary Panzerkampfwagen 6 as of H1 Tiger. I honestly think that they've modeled the turret rotation very correctly, very accurately. The Tiger's turret wasn't known for its speed. Okay, there's an IS-4M, a tank that this thing will never see. At least I hope it never does. And at this distance, yeah. Under 500 meters, I'm not going to pen. See? Nowhere near am I going to penetrate. 150 millimeters of penetration, and I'm not going to penetrate. Yeah. Something fishy there. Something stinks worse than the pig's arse in the summertime. But that's okay. We take the rough with the smooth. And again, in the replay, this say, I'm sorry. Yeah. Have the front of my tank into your rectum. Ram. Now, again, I like to be sneaky in my Tiger. I'm hunting T-44s. So, again, the initial onset of... Oh, I've got a Panther D with me. Initial onset of this game is you have to mostly just watch out for fighters dropping their bombs. See? Like that. That was a... Oh, TU-25. And of course the occasional goat climber T-34 up there, but there doesn't seem to be any. Because if there was, they'd love to shoot him in the sides. Friendly bird in the sky. Enemy bird in the sky. IL-2M. Rockets and cannons on that sucker. Took out one of those AAA. Didn't even have to fire a ranging shot. Up two. No, only the one up. That's fine. So that's two anti-aircraft. AAA's gone. Reason why I like taking out AAA in my Tiger is simply so that when I finally get around to getting in my plane, because you know eventually I will be taken out. You know, I don't plan on thinking I'm going to live forever. T-44 up here behind me. One thing I do love about the Tiger is she can climb up a 90-degree incline. That was an artillery barrage. AAA destroyed by a T-34-85. Who's right there. Using that rock for cover. Let's turn. Turn. See, I kept my RPMs up. Shells loaded. Oof, that just skimmed me. Got a AAA right there. Again, less AAA they have. Down a pip. up. Less AAA they have, easier life will be for me. IS-2. No, he's still there. He's not dead. I'm the only one here, so gotta watch out for T-44s trying to flank. Again, Tigers like to ambush. Yeah, he's still there. So let's meet the maker, shall we? Oh, told ya. T-44. And he tries to ram. Oh, wow!